It is my pleasure to have you join us again on the program Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria. I'm your regular host, Ibrahim Yusuf. Nigeria is a major hub in animal production and consumption. By her population alone, the country consumes about 50% of animal products in West African sub-region. What this means is that the livestock subsector of the agriculture has immense capacity to be a thriving industry capable of creating employment and generating income. Supporting the development of this sector is the research work being undertaken by the National Animal Production Research Institute, NAPRI. And that is the focus of this episode of the program. But before then, let's take some news events from the Nigerian agricultural sector. Keep watching. In our lineup tonight, Lagos empowers 190 youth, women for fish farming. Also, NDE trains 25 Bauchi graduates on agric skills. Lagos State Government has empowered 190 youth and women in Afo community, Badagry, for fish farming to further boost youth and women empowerment as well as boost fish production in the state. The State Commissioner for Agriculture, Abisola Olusonya, speaking at the symbolic stocking of the fish cages in Badagry, stated that each of the cages would be stocked with 1,000 juveniles for both tilapia and catfish. She added that in furtherance of the determination of the state government to help them succeed in the business, each of the beneficiaries will also be given 20 bags of fish feed, medication, as well as monthly stipend of 15,000 naira for 4 months before the fish is harvested. The National Director of Employment, NDE, has trained 25 young graduates on modern agricultural value chain and techniques in Bauchi State. Speaking during the training in Bauchi, NDE's Director of Rural Employment Promotion, Dr. Umbata Michael, who was represented by NDE official Nkem Ikeamadi, stated that the objective of the one-week training was to empower the youth on how they could boost profitable employment opportunities through agricultural value chain to achieve high food sufficiency and also raise the standard of living of youth in the state. The Director General of NDE, Abubakar Nuhu, who was also represented by the State Coordinator, Ali Lawanyaya, charged the participants to utilize the opportunity by equipping themselves to become self-reliant and employers of labor. The National Animal Production Research Institute has contributed immensely to the genetic improvement of livestock in Nigeria, thereby bringing the best out of our indigenous animals through crossbreeding and meticulous healthcare research. But what are the technological innovations driving these milestones, and what impact have they made in livestock production? Let us find out in our next segment. Sit back and watch.
Livestock refers to animals that are domesticated for food. They include poultry, birds, cattle, goats, sheep, pigs, and rabbits. The list of animals also includes camels, donkeys, and horses. A Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development 2017 reports puts the number of livestock produced annually in Nigeria at 180 million poultry birds, 76 million goats, 43.4 million sheep, 18.4 million cattle, 7.5 million pigs, and about 1.4 million equines, being horses, donkeys, and camels. Production of these animals provides millions of Nigerians with income, food, and employment. Developing the livestock subsector, therefore, holds a lot of potentials for a thriving industry. One way this can be done is in improving the quality and stock of farm animals. Here, research is invaluable and within the mandates of the National Animal Production Research Institute, NAPRI. One area that the National Animal Production Research Institute has made significant progress through research is artificial insemination. Artificial insemination is a process of collecting sperm cells from a male animal and manually depositing them into the reproductive tract of the female animal for crossbreeding or reproduction. The process enhances the genetic improvement of animals for optimal reproduction. NAPRI in this research effort makes a selection of these animals in the lab. The section is done through DNA extraction.
You have animals that are high producing, maybe milk, maybe twinning, maybe beef. Whatever phenotypic characteristic you see in animal, it has been coded for at the genetic level. So this aspect is actually going to help us in selecting what will I say high producing animals based on the results you get from the molecular lab. It's going to tell you that, okay, this particular animal, this particular region is what is making it, let's say, give you twinning. And if you know that, if you are going to select other animals, you extract their DNA, then you check. Once they have those particular sequences present, then obviously you know this particular animal is going to also give me twinning. So that's going to aid you in selecting those animals.
The process of artificial insemination is quite technical, but which the Institute has mastered over time, improving on the steps and the stocks.
If I'm on the first square, I'm going to count the total number of sperm cells I have in that square. Then I will now move to the second square. I will add up. The third one I will add up until I count 5 squares. Then at the end of the day, I will now check how many sperm cells I have. So assuming I have maybe 153 sperm cells, I will now say times 10 to the power of 6 because the sperm cells are in millions.
This is the bull stud of NAPRI. In this stud, exotic bulls are tested and kept for artificial insemination. But what are the benefits of this artificial insemination when rightly performed?
The use of artificial insemination is to combine the best of both worlds. First is the fast-growing nature of exotic animals, which is the semen we use for breeding, as well as the resilience of our local indigenous females. So when you take the semen of an exotic breed and you inseminate, that is, you breed our indigenous cows, the crossbreed that you're expected to have combines the best of both worlds. That is, you have crossbreeds that are fast growing, they have a faster onset of estrus, that is, they have an early puberty, early onset of puberty, as well as high milk yield. So these three combinations, improved milk, fast growth, as well as early onset of estrus, will mean that the farmer will make more money.
Aside the artificial insemination of animals, a lot of research works has also been done by NAPRI to maintain the health of animals in Nigeria and also for genetic performances.
We have also studied animals. You know, our work is not only production, it's also research into various aspects of animal production, which we are now talking about diseases. What are the diseases affecting animals? Then we advise the farmers, this thing you're talking about is not caused by spirits, it's caused by microbial agents, it's caused by parasitology agents. Don't do this. This is what is worrying the animal. This diarrhea is caused by this parasite. This is what you need to treat it with. You know, it's good to feed your animals supplements during the dry season. We have tried it and we have measured the output in relation to unfed animals. Therefore, we need you to feed your animals well, even during the dry season. And they try it because we have already tried it on farm and seen that it works. So when we take it to the farmers, we are sure of the package we are giving to them.
NAPRI also takes steps to prevent diseases on the animals. One of the preventive measures is dipping. Dipping is a method of disease prevention or curing of diseases on animal bodies in which animals that can swim are meant to dip their bodies into a chemical pool and swim through. This is done in the early hours of the day to avoid the animals drinking the chemical water when they will be thirsty in the later hours of the day. But what then are other disease control methods produced by research at NAPRI?
In terms of preventive, we conduct regular vaccinations against endemic animal diseases. Example of such is contagious bovine pleural pneumonia. We also have hemorrhagic septicemia. All there are vaccines against those diseases. And then those ones are in cattle. In small ruminants, we have what we call pestis dis petit ruminants. It's a common ailment around us here, and there is a vaccine for that. And we do regularly vaccinate the animals against those diseases. And secondly, apart from vaccinations, we also do regular or routine deworming of our livestock. As you all know, worms are #1 problems in production. So we do deworm our animals regularly.
The whole essence of taking care of animal health by the National Animal Production Research Institute is to proffer solution to animal health and provide effective guide for farmers on how to take care of their animal health.
Whoever is interested in going into farming should consult institute like NAPRI. Is there they will get the required advice. There are a lot of experts on the various aspects of production. If they make contact with NAPRI, all the necessary guides they will be given.
The benefits of crossbreeding and health care given to animals are enormous. One of these benefits is evidently seen in the dairy industry.
We've had a lot of breakthroughs. First, maybe if I may start with, say, the dairy aspect. You see, we've been able to improve on the milk yield of our indigenous animals. Averagely, they've been producing about 2 liters per day. But with our activities, we've been able to upgrade it to about 10 liters or some much more than that through the activities of our crossbreeding, artificial insemination, like that.
Aside improvement through crossbreeding, NAPRI has also ventured into using the modern equipment in this milking parlor to milk the animals, after which milk is evaluated.
This is a test cup, and this is the CMT test reagent. It is called California Mastitis Test Reagent. What we do with this is to test our milk to know the quality, especially when it comes with mastitis. So this, as you can see, this cup is being graduated with alphabets A, B, C, and D, indicating the 4 quarters of the dam we milk, that is the 4 teats. So each of the teats is being expressed small into this. The cup has a graduation of the limit you can go. Then you now bring your reagent and you press just once. This way are they? You press once into it, then you shake gradually. Once it gives you a clear crystal like liquid, which means your milk is good. But once there are clots, which means your milk is being infected with mastitis, and henceforth you treat or you do what is needed.
The impact of research into genetic improvement of animals is also felt in beef production. In this regard, the Beef Research Program of NAPRI has also made breakthroughs in increasing beef production in Nigeria.
We have found out from research that our indigenous breeds of cattle have the potential to add 1 kilogram of meat in a day. 1 kilogram of meat in a day when it is fed this concentrate I talked to you about, along with the hay, and given quality water and mineral salt lick given to them. And research also has found out that our animals are capable of marbling. Marbling is fat intercollected in muscles. You know what fat is in meat. It is not that fat that you see that has covered the stomach of the animal. When you slaughter the animal and you open it, you see fat covering the abdomen of the animal. That is not the fat we call marbling. The one I call marbling is the one that is within muzzle. When you cut the muzzle of the animal, cut the meat, you will see fat. You see one whitish thing within the muzzle of the animal, within the muzzle fiber. You see whitish things. That is what we call marbling. And that is very juicy. That is what makes the meat juicy. So from the researches we have conducted, we have discovered that our animals are capable of depositing marbling.
The importance of animals cannot be overemphasized. Animals satisfy human want for meat, dairy, events, and cultural affiliation, amongst other needs. The National Animal Production Research Institute considers it imperative to conduct researches into some of these animals to meet human needs and more. In our next segment, we will bring you a summary of some of the research done by NAPRI for preservation of camels, donkeys, horses, among other animals. Keep watching.
Every part of this country has something to offer.
Facts have it that camel milk is rich in vitamin C and protective proteins. The meat and milk from camels is said to be almost miraculous. For the benefits inherent in camel production, NAPRI is carrying out research to find out if this animal can thrive in every geo-ecological zones of the country to increase production for meat and dairy products.
Currently, we have done some research, and the research findings reveals that there are enough feed resources for this species of animal all over the country, especially in the northern Guinea savanna, to which this is not their natural habitat, but there are a lot of resources. At the same time, we conducted experiments. If you want to improve the performance of this species of animal or any species of animal, you must know their requirements in terms of nutrient. So we have conducted research, and we found out that, for instance, the camels, they can produce or they can perform very well on diet containing 14% crude protein, and they can also perform very well on diet containing 1,659 kilocalorie. That's the energy content of the diet. And currently we are conducting research to determine the nutrient requirement of the equine species.
In 2014, Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria mandated NAPRI to research into donkeys like any other animal under its mandate. Since then, NAPRI has done greatly in the breeding of this animal. But what is the economic importance of donkeys to justify this research?
Donkeys are used for transportation in some remote areas of Nigeria. In some places, they also use them for traction, for draft power, especially during the rainy season. And also, donkeys are used in some festivities. If you like Doba, if you go to some other emirate councils, like in Daura Emirate, when they are celebrating maybe the turbaning ceremony of a new traditional ruler or emir, they do include donkeys together with other animals to celebrate such occasions.
Research is also in progress to improve the production of horses. Most importantly, to make them affordable for individuals that wish to have them for cultural or commercial purposes.
There is a saying that horses are for the rich, while donkeys are for the poor. But we're trying to put away that claim to make them more readily, should I say, available by increasing their breeding, their potential and capacity for breeding. At this stage right now, horses are quite expensive to rear. But with us incorporating them into our program, we are trying to conduct research that will give us idea or possible ways to which to improve their breeding efficiency in such a way that even the common man will be able to afford rearing them.
Research has shown that 36% of meat consumed globally is pork. And for Nigeria to increase production of this animal to meet local consumption and export, NAPRI has also made significant research to boost the production of this animal through synchronization for multiple birth.
A lot of findings have been done in this unit. For instance, we have been able to develop a method of synchronizing the heat period of these animals so that we'll be able to have multiple pregnancy at the same time, thereby giving us a large litter size and saving costs and labor. And in addition to that, we have also developed some feeding packages that improve the production and reproductive performance of these animals.
Effort has also been made in the rearing of rabbits. In this farm, the researchers boost the production of rabbit through research into the proper management of rabbits. Space is a management method used to increase the libido of the rabbit and acceptance of male rabbits by the female rabbit, among other findings for reproduction.
Here in the rabbit research unit, we have make use of ascorbic acid, or we call vitamin C, to see how we can eliminate heat stress. What we try to say when we say eliminate, that is how to reduce heat stress on animals during the hot season. So mostly we do this in order to, include this during breeding plan, so that you can have a good production. You can have a high litter size with less mortality during the hot season. Normally in hot season, it used to be a challenge to these animals. So we are able to reduce that heat stress using vitamin C.
Goat and sheep are widely reared across the country and mostly in high demand. Therefore, research to increase their production is a vital endeavor.
Of recent, there are researches that were carried out which was based on the problem of neonatal mortalities that we encounter in sheep and goats, and of which some tremendous findings were discovered. We found out that the major problems that is responsible for mortality in neonates, that is the newly born, kids, are mostly associated with hypothermia and hypoglycemia, which are very important. These are some very important key aspects that every small ruminant producer has to really key into in order to minimize mortality losses, associated with neonatal kids and lambs generally. So one has to really do something to take care of the, temperature of the environment of the newly born, you understand, as well as the energy level, within of the animal, of the newly born.
In the aspect of genetics, I'm an animal geneticist. We have been able to select our animals for growth, in the sense that we have carried out research that instead of keeping your animals and growing them, wasting your feed, you can just select using certain gene markers for growth, and you now know which animals will grow faster than the others. So we can call the ones that we know are not too good in terms of growth early. That's a very major breakthrough that we have had in this sheep.
The beauty of the various research findings made by NAPRE is that they are made relevant to farmers through different ways.
The area of reproductive assistance, that's the AI, scientists and technicians visit farms directly to handle their reproductive challenges and improve the genetic base of their animals. We have what we call the Open Day. NAPRE usually organizes Open Day, where it will interact with all stakeholders. Farmer groups are usually present to have first-hand information.
The place of research in animal production cannot be overemphasized. Improved stock, disease control, increase in their byproducts are just a few results of dedicated research. Transmitted to the farmer who uses rudimentary methods, this could make a huge difference in prosperity and productivity. And so, we must in our little way encourage and embrace research. At this juncture, we draw the curtains on this episode of Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria. Join me again, same time, same station, next week. Do have a great weekend.